try and ask them to turn on their cameras and say hi to you. But in the meanwhile, I would request everybody to, from my team, to turn their cameras on. So the first one that I would like to introduce is Kalpana. Hi, Kalpana. Welcome to the pre-placement first talk with the students. So Kalpana heads our campus team. We have Siddharth. Hi, Siddharth. We have Sukhwant. I don't know if she's there. So this is Sanket. I'm a part of Persistent Campus team. Hi, Supriya. If you can turn on the video. We have Raksha, Swati, Ketki, Mahesh, Akanksha. We have Siddhi from Goa for the people who love beaches. She's the one that you want to poke and bother every time. We have Hema and Savita from our teams or from Bangalore. They're going to help you for anybody who would like to work from the IT city. Similarly, we have Gopi from Hyderabad, the first. It is probably one of the second, I think, second most IT city in India. So looking forward. Hi, Gopi. If you're there, you can say hi or wave it to us. So before we move on, I would want to take a couple of your minutes to know as to what do you think about this presentation, pre-placement talk that we have. And we would really want your perspective, right? So, Siddharth, if you can move on to the next slide, please. Okay, so it's going to be a quick poll time. We thought of making it a little more interactive, and on the screens, you will, on your chat window, you will see a link where you are required to click on that. And there's a quick small survey which we will share that as to how are we responding and how do we want to go about it. So, Supriya, if you can post the survey link.
Thank you.
Hello.
The link is posted and we have started receiving the response.
Okay, very well. So if you can also share your screen, so I would like to read that question for everybody so that everyone understands that and maybe we can do that. So you can share your screen, Supriya, and you can showcase the way that we are receiving the responses to that. Supriya? Yeah. Okay. All right. Quite interesting. So I'm just going to read out that survey, the question for you. What is the most important aspect for you to join an IT company? And we are getting a lot of responses, and I think there's a very common response that we're getting towards learning and development. For all the learners out here, nobody's interested in money. uh, I think everybody's interested in learning, so that's a great news for us. um, so maybe we can skip the slide where we talk about money, right? So we'll do that. So Kalpana, note for us, good news for us. So thank you for that. I think there's another interesting question coming up your way. So we've got a hang of how do you guys feel about joining an any new company or specifically an IT company, and everybody has a trend moving towards the learning side of it, which is very exciting. And I think we'll talk about it more during our pre-placement talk. We have some interesting speakers that will give you and throw some light on that. So maybe Supriya, if you want to post another question just for us to see and what exactly people feel about it, and we'll also take a quick look and then we'll move on with the session. By the way, we just thought of letting you know that we are expecting a few more audience to join us. So in case if there is any lag in the video, please bear with us. It sometimes may happen that due to the connectivity issues, we may face that. But just We'll try to keep it as interactive as possible. You can start posting your questions and do a chat. All right. So the new question is up there. What excites you the most in the company apart from work? So this is an interesting question. It seems that okay, strong team bonding, employee well-being, uh, job security. Somebody said job security. Very well. Inclusion, diversity, recreational activity. Very less. I think they are all studious students. Team, campus team. I think they are not interested in spending good time with their colleagues or participating in any adventures or any sports. Everybody is wanting to have strong team bonding. Very well. So quite interesting to meet you. We've got a very new set of people. We are all excited to meet you. So before we move on, I'm just going to request Kalpana to just give 2 cents of her advice, and then we can move ahead with our speaker of the day. Right. So over to you, Kalpana.
Hey, thanks, Sanket. Good morning to all of you. Welcome all of you to this session. And very interesting to see these responses. I was expecting, the compensation, recreational activities would be top on the chart. But yes, I mean, remember, we are going to, making note of this. So accordingly, we are going to create those experiences for you when you join. I hope you'll not regret based on whatever response that you have given to us. Okay, so a quick introduction. So I had campus recruitment, and I have been working with Persistent for last 15 years. It has been pretty exciting and enriching journey for me. I did my engineering way back in 2002. Yes, 20 years back. That makes me feel little older now. And then did my MBA, did few stints here and there, and then I've joined Persistent. I remember when I entered into the corporate world, I was full of hopes, dreams, aspirations. I've been fortunate enough to have worked with Persistent, which helped me to realize my dreams, and the journey continues. So I have gone through this process of campus placement, post my engineering, post my MBA. I exactly understand the experience. I exactly know the expectations from both the side. Now we are on the other side of the table, but all of us, Sanket, Siddharth, Brijesh, all of us have gone through this process. That's the reason we have, curated this session to help you understand more about the company, what we stand for, okay, what are our brand values, our leadership team, our growth plan, the career opportunities that we provide to freshers, learning and development opportunities that came as one of the top option from all of you. So we are going to let you know more about these details, and of course the operational part, that how hiring is going to pan out, the different assessment criterias and the structure and all of that we are going to cover. The way I look at this entire hiring process, this is a two-way process. It is not only about we assessing you, we are looking for potential fitment for Persistent, but it is also about you looking at the organization in terms of if that organization aligns with your career aspirations. If and I'm sure there would be other companies who would be doing the similar sessions and the pre-placement talks. So you can evaluate and assess. This is kind of a marriage, right? So wherein both of us need to be aligned to each other. And I completely believe that Persistent is a technology company. We are a company of geeks. Okay, right from our founder and MD and chairman, who is Anand Deshpande, Dr. Anand Deshpande, he himself loves coding. And you'll see that tech DNA is embedded across the board, okay? And so if you're a techie, if you're a geek, this is a right place for you. And we'll ensure that you get a good amount of exposure and experience through a lot of interventions that generally a fresher goes through as a process. So with that, I'll roll it back to Sanket and I'll ask him to take it over. There are a lot of things in store for you in today's session. If you have any feedback, comments, questions, please post it on chat window. We'll try and answer as many as questions as possible towards the end of the segment. अगर नहीं कर पाते हैं, don't worry, we'll ensure that we address those through email communication, through FAQ document. And yes, with that, Sanket, over to you.
Thanks, Kalpana. On a lighter note, I think all of us can now say that to all of the students that जितनी तुम्हारी उम्र है उतना हमारा तजुर्बा है.
Yes.
So with that note, I think I'm gonna request and I'm gonna welcome the man Friday today, the speaker of the day, whom we fondly call as Brijesh, and the one who wears a lot of hats. So It's gonna be simple because I'm actually logged into his own system. So I'm just gonna move my laptop and make him come on the screen. So hi, Brijesh.
Hello. Hi, everyone. Good morning.
All right, so over to you, Brijesh. I think then let the ball get rolling.
Thank you. Thank you, Sanket. Siddharth, can you go on to the project the slides, please?
Yeah, Siddharth, can you please start the sharing again, the content, please?
Okay. So, good morning. Thank you, Siddharth. Good morning once again. Uh, so, let me start the session. So, as freshers, there's a question. What does everyone look at? Okay. There's some meeting. Sanket, we have started. So what do people look for in an organization when you're joining? Okay. Unfortunately, I'm not a very big fan of this kind of session when it's just one way that I'm speaking. पर उसमें कैसा है मैं कुछ भी बोल सकता हूँ और आप लोग वापस you all cannot interrupt. But I don't prefer that. I always prefer it to be a two-way communication. Unfortunately, because of the number of audience that we have to do this. So be it, and we live with it. But sometime during the course of our engagement, we definitely look forward to come over and meet all of you all in person, and have as many of you all join us as possible. Okay. So one of the things, and you can, Siddharth, can you just put in all the values coming in, not just one by one? Okay. So some of the things that, what we have learned over the years that people look for is the brand of the company. Okay. Persistent as of today. And I'm so proud to say this. Okay. One of the fastest growing companies in India, in the IT sector, at least. Okay. And if you, and what is an indicator of the growth of a company? Okay. 2 years before, our share price was 400 Indian rupees. Okay. In April, on 1st of April, it was almost 5,000 INR. Okay. So that is the growth, and that is the brand value, the brand equity that we have received in the market. So you can imagine, how well we have been doing. And this is all because of, efforts of people like you all, us, in the past few years that we have been able to grow so fast. Plus, we are also a company which values a lot of underlying things. Okay. Which is, as an individual, whenever you join a company, it is very important, it is very primary that each of the individuals have a very good growth career. Okay. There has to be a lot of growth because we are a technology company. Okay. We may not be able to offer a lot of different things, but definitely in terms of technology, different and varied roles in technology and over a plethora of technologies. Okay. Is something that we work on. Learning and development, because if you have to learn technology, at least in this field, if you have chosen an IT field, one thing that will remain with you for the rest of your life is learning and development. You have to keep learning and keep improving and keep keeping up in tunes with how the market is, and what are the new technologies which are coming in, and so on and so forth. Okay. So that, if you can move to the next. So that's me. That's a not a very old picture, but that's a clean shaved picture. All right. So that, if you can move to the next slide, please. Okay. So if I have to inform you, some very basic and very important details about the company. Okay. So last year in not last year, this year, last quarter. Okay. Our revenue was 240 million approximately. So if you analyze that revenue, that comes out to 960. But this is just the first quarter that we have, and I'm sure that over the next few quarters we will have 250, 260, 280, 300, whatever. So for sure we are looking at crossing the 1 billion mark in this particular financial year. Okay, so annualized revenue based on our Q1 run rate is already 966, but we are sure and very hopeful that we will cross the 1 million mark. Okay, in the last four, TTM is the trailing 12 months. So in the last 12 months we have done around 840 million. But like I said, this quarter we did 240, and I'm sure we'll do about a million. Profit after tax is 2.1 billion rupees. Okay, that's our Q1 profit, last quarter's profit. Okay. Uh, Also, what is very important is if you look at the which is total contract value bookings. So there is a difference between revenue and bookings. Revenue is the actual amount of money that a company makes every quarter, every year. Okay, but it is the outcome. It is the result of what has already happened and what has already been done. What is most important to get an indication is the booking value that we booked. So we have booked about 394 million of business in that in the last quarter. Okay, so we booked 394 million. That means our quarterly run rate very soon would be close to that, which is well over 1 billion mark. Okay, earnings per share is close to around 100 rupees. Okay, the total market cap for Persistent Systems as of today is 3.3 billion dollars. Okay, and we have around close to 21,000 employees. Okay, so 2 years before, I remember we were about 8,000, but this has been the growth, and that too with during the period when there was all this lockdown and all these things happening. But जैसे हम लोग बोलते हैं ना कि हर चीज में there is always an opportunity. Okay, we saw it to be a very good opportunity for us and to be able to help the whole world, and in this process also grow ourselves. So that is what we have done. Okay, and we have now become close to 21,000 employees and looking forward to welcoming as many of you all as possible. Siddharth, if you can please move to the next slide. Okay, so this is our growth trajectory, and so as a company हम लोग 1990 में we had established ourselves. Okay, so we have been in presence for more than 30 years now. Okay, or almost 30 years now. Hmm? And this is a revenue बहुत पहले वाला नहीं लिया है, that this is just to give you an indication of from 2010. If you see her bar, every year we have been growing and growing. Okay, last year has been pretty good for us because it was a very steep hike and a steep jump that we took, and we look forward to our continued growth. Or इस साल भी जैसे I told you, we are looking forward to really crossing that 1 billion mark. So let's hope for the best. Okay, that's our aspiration. Siddharth, if you can go to the next slide, please. Okay. Again, so Forbes Asia, that is one of the magazines which publishes and talks about the best companies in the world. So Persistent has been named as the best under a billion company. We are still not at that 1 billion mark. This is something that we are wanting to achieve. Okay, and Sandeep Kalra is our CEO. He's based out of the US in the East Coast in New Jersey, and this is what he says. He has been giving us. He has joined us about 3-4 years before, and he has been giving a very sharp growth trajectory and a good path for the organization, for the growth of the organization and growth of each of our employees. Okay, Siddharth, if you can move to the next slide, please. The next slide, please. Okay, so this is where you see our presence has almost all over the world. Okay, or when you see USA also, so USA you just see one dot from here, but I have also been in the time, and we have offices right from the East Coast all the way to the West Coast. So earlier we had our quarters in California, Santa Clara, Silicon Valley. Now headquarters are moved to the East Coast. We also have presence in Canada as well as Mexico and Costa Rica. Then Europe, we have a very good presence. Also India, of course, and as well as the Asia Pacific and Australia. Okay. South Africa, we have a small presence, not really a very big presence, but a presence for sure. Okay. Siddharth, if we can move to the next slide, please. So this is another indicator of, where do we stand from a technology capability perspective. Okay, so there's a company called Zenov, which does these kind of research, and this company into different segments. Okay, so if you look at this, persistent, you will find right at the top, not the topmost, but very very close to over there. So this is not something that we are saying. This is something that the world is saying, that this is where persistent belongs. This is where what persistent does. Okay. So we are so proud of ourselves, I mean our whole team and everyone, that this is where we have reached. And especially during the pandemic. Okay, तो हर चीज में, जैसे हम कह रहे थे पहले भी, कि हर चीज में there is always an opportunity and there is always a risk. Okay, we carried the same amount of risk that everyone had during this pandemic. Okay, but we took care of all our employees. We also took care of our business and everything. Okay, जैसे ही lockdown declare हुआ था, so within a week we had made provision for everyone to have, पहले machine सबके पास नहीं रहते थे, I mean not the portable laptop, everyone used to have a desktop. तो हम लोग ने लैपटॉप्स प्रिक्योर करके सबको लैपटॉप्स दिया. ठीक है, जहां जहां लैपटॉप पॉसिबल नहीं थे, सो वी मेड श्योर दैट डेस्कटॉप्स हम लोग उनके घर पहुंचाएं, एंड सो ऑन एंड सो फोर्थ. बट दिस इज, जब इमरजेंसी आई थी, तो दिस इज व्हाट वी हैड डन, एंड today we are reaping the benefits and the results of it, that we are in a very good position even after the lockdown and after the pandemic. Siddharth, if you can move to the next slide, please. Okay, so this is yet another report, and this is something which has been published by Barclays. Okay, so they do a review and research on various companies and where they belong to. Okay, so our strong performance, if you look at it, okay, it is generating a lot of value for all our stakeholders and also for our employees. Okay, why for our employees? Because 80% of our employees are also the shareholders of the company. So जैसे जैसे जब भी हमारे employees आते हैं, and this is, I think, Persistent is one of the very rarest companies in the world, जहाँ पर almost all our employees. And why 80%? Because कंपनी में आने के बाद जब फ्रेशर्स आते हैं हमारी कंपनीज में, तो फ्रेशर्स आने के 1 1.5 2 साल बाद हम लोग उनको शेयर्स अलोकेट कर देते हैं. एंड व्हेन laterals join us as experienced people, so what we do is, after they have been in the company 6 months after that, we have been allocating shares. But this is always a function of the current policies and current views. As of today, that is the policy, and we are granting them. Okay, if we continue our good growth trajectory, we would like to continue that. But this is not something which is an assurance, or which is something which is committed. Okay, so there are different policies and things which come into place from time to time. However, आज के डेट में this is what it is. आज के डेट में 80% of our employees are shareholders of Persistent. Okay, and that, अगर आप देखोगे यहाँ पर पूरे ग्राफ में, और देखिए बाकी भी, यू हैव L&T. ओके, you have Sybase, you have L&T Infotech, Tech Mahindra, Wipro, all these companies, right? Okay, and we are topping the charts up. Very happy and very proud of that. Siddharth, if you can move to the next slide, please. So again, as I was saying, offering, so दो चीजें होती हैं, और आप लोगों ने भी सर्वे भी भरा. See, one of the things is obviously that you should get a very good experience and you should really enjoy working in a company. But at the same time, see, this is the age. This is the age for you and you and you and you and you, everyone who's on the call. Okay, and for Sanket and Supriya and Kalpana and everyone, including me. Okay, to be able to create wealth. And wealth for our own selves, wealth for our family, wealth for our friends, and wealth for whosoever are near and dear ones, right? क्योंकि हम लोग charity नहीं करते हैं. When we work, we also expect money in return. Okay, and Persistent has been one of the company which is offering market-leading wealth creation opportunities. Okay, that is, while salaries and everything are fine, अगर company अच्छा करती है, so in the form of shares, company के shares grow होते हैं, company के shares grow होते हैं, because 80% of our people already have those shares. Okay, और ये शेयर्स होते हैं, ये हम लोग जो आपको लेटर्स देते हैं सीटीसी वगैरह का. ओके, दिस इज नॉट इंक्लूडेड इन दैट, दिस इज आउटसाइड इज. बट आउटसाइड भी इसीलिए है, आई जस्ट वांट टू बी आल्सो वेरी ट्रांसपेरेंट एंड फेयर विद, इसलिए भी है क्योंकि दीज आर सब्जेक्ट टर्म्स एंड कंडीशन. एक बार आपको शेयर दे दिया और आपने शेयर्स ले लिए, तो वो हमेशा आपके रहते हैं. पर वो शेयर देने वाला जो है, तो आज के डेट में we give those shares to like whatever the criteria I was saying, and 80% of the people have received it. But tomorrow, we don't know. Market is very volatile, and we also need to always be able to adapt ourselves to the market conditions. Okay, so this is not a commitment that everyone who would join in will get it, but today they are, and if we continue to do well, we would definitely like to, have these wealth creation opportunities for all our employees. Siddharth, if you can move to the next slide, please. मैं आप लोग से पूछ भी नहीं सकता हूँ कि मतलब स्लो, फास्ट, ज्यादा कैसे, ठीक है, बट ठीक है. So, but if you have any questions, maybe you all can put in the chat window, and once I'm done with my session, we'll see, and if there are some common questions, we will try to answer all of them. Okay. So, जैसे मैं बता रहा था, आप लोग ने पुराना वाला चार्ट देखा होगा, हमारा ग्रोथ ट्रैजेक्टरी ऐसे था, एंड लास्ट 2 years में हम लोग ऐसे जा रहे हैं. ठीक है. Similarly, profitability. We are also a very, very profitable company, and both of these things are, we have a clear line of sight. जैसे मैंने आपको बताया, 240 million हम लोग ने फर्स्ट क्वार्टर में कर लिया है. Obviously, Q2, Q3, Q4 में हम लोग उससे ज्यादा ही करेंगे. Okay. If you do a simple mathematics, that is, around this, with this run rate, already we are, close to 960 kind of stuff. 966 हम लोग ने लिखा था. ठीक है. But I'm sure Q2 we will do a little more, Q3, Q4, and we will cross our 1 billion goal that we had in our mind. और आप लोग को एक स्टोरी बताऊं क्या? 1 billion वाला जो हमारा गोल था, तो आज से संकेत याद है क्या, गोवा में ऑफसाइट कब हुआ था हमारा? हाँ, 2019, 18, 3 साल हो गए. हाँ, 2018 or 19, I don't remember the date, sorry. Okay, we had an offsite of all the leaders across the world. Okay, we had called all our leaders from all over the world and called them to India. Okay, और गोवा में हम लोग मिले थे, तो it was wonderful. तो first day it was like आप लोग के जैसे वाइवा होते हैं, तो वाइवा मतलब नॉट वाइवा बट वाइवा टाइप्स. हर लीडर ने आके वहां पर प्रेजेंट करना है कि क्या करेंगे, कैसा करेंगे, कितना ग्रोथ करेंगे, कहाँ ले जाएंगे, कैसे डायरेक्शन देंगे. एवरीवन हैड टू प्रेजेंट, एंड अगर एक बंदा जैसे प्रेजेंट कर रहा है, सो ऑल अदर्स आर ऑडियंस, एंड ऑडियंस भी है और ग्रिल भी कर सकते हैं. एवरीवन कैन आस्क क्वेश्चंस. ओके, वेरी वैलिड क्वेश्चंस. और जब तुम स्टेज पे जाते हो, जब तुम्हारी क्लास होती है, तो तुम वापस नीचे आते हो, तो तुम भी फिर क्लास लेते हो. तो काफी क्लास हुई थी सबकी. और क्लास होने के बाद उसके बाद नेक्स्ट डे इट वाज लाइक अ फुल फन इवेंट. Okay, so lots of singing and dancing and good food and lots of fun, um, lots of sports, and at the end of the session, okay, we had clicked a picture पूरी लीडरशिप की, और वो पिक्चर का हम लोग ने टाइटल भी दिया था. वो पिक्चर में लिखा था हम लोग ने कि दिस इज अ टीम, ओके, विच टुक परसिस्टेंट टू ग्रेटेस्ट हाइट्स. एंड और उसमें लिखा था हम लोग कि इन द ईयर 2025 परसिस्टेंट इज अ, तो ठीक है, थोड़ा सा एक्सप्लेन करता हूँ बिकॉज दिस इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर यू. तो हम लोग ने एक ऐसा फोटो बनाया था, सोच के, इमेजिनेशन था वो, 2018-19 में. वो लिखा था, डेट लिखी थी उसमें 25 अक्टूबर. इनवाइट्स क्यों? तो वो उसमें एक आर्टिकल था, दैट फोटो वाज एन आर्टिकल व्हेरेन अ लॉट ऑफ थिंग्स वर रिटन, और एक फोटो थी. वो जो फोटो थी, वो जितने भी लोग गोवा में आए थे उनकी फोटो थी, और आर्टिकल का डेट था 25 अक्टूबर 2025, समथिंग लाइक दैट. और उसमें लिखा हुआ था कि persistent systems, world leading companies, so and so today crossed the 1 billion mark. एंड फिर पूरा सब कुछ लिखा था, एंड उसके पीछे बोला था कि दिस इज द टीम, जिसकी फोटो है, दिस इज द टीम विच हैज बीन बिहाइंड दैट होल स्टोरी. ओके, सो वो विजन था जो हम लोग 2025 में करने वाले थे, पर ऑलरेडी 2022 में हम लोग रियलाइज कर रहे हैं. सोचिए वो वाला ड्रीम. ओके, सो दिस इज व्हाट पैशन कैन डू टू यू. ओके, एंड जैसे वो लोग लीडर्स लोग ने जो वहां पर उस टाइम थे, दे ऑल टुक परसिस्टेंट टू दिस 1 billion. What now we are looking at? We are looking at hiring the next set of leaders, the next set of people who will take persistent even to greater heights. अभी वहां से 1 billion तक ले आए हैं, अब 1 billion से आगे लेके जाना, ये किसकी जिम्मेदारी है? ये आपकी और आपकी और आपकी, all of you all who are on this call and who are potential future employees of persistent. Okay, all of you all will have to carry that baton and load and take persistent to more greater heights. Okay, और फ्रेशर्स आप देखोगे तो मतलब हमारे परसिस्टेंट में 15% ऑफ द होल कंपनी इन परसिस्टेंट इज फ्रेशर्स. ओके, और हर साल हम लोग का यही कैपेसिटी रहती है. देयर आर ऑलवेज टू वेज ऑफ ग्रोइंग योर कंपनी. One is hiring people laterally, and one is taking fresh talent out of college. And fresh talent इसलिए हम लोग को भी बहुत पसंद है as a company is because all of you are fresh. Okay, of course, that's so stupid of me. But कैसा होता है grooming, आप लोग को जो सीखना है, जो पढ़ना है, you all are very fresh. You all do not have any preconceived notions. Okay. एंड आप लोग प्रोफेशनल इंस्टीट्यूट से आए हुए हैं पढ़ लिख के, तो हम लोग वी ऑल मेक यू गो थ्रू अ वेरी वेरी रिगरस ट्रेनिंग. आफ्टर दैट ट्रेनिंग वी आर एबल टू मोल्ड यू ऑल इनटू फ्रॉम कॉलेज to the industry. And Kalpana and Sanket and the team, they all run various programs also during the period from once you are selected up to the period that you will join in. तो काफी सारे programs रहते हैं which will help you transform from a student to a professional. ठीक है. Siddharth, can you move to the next slide please? Okay. So why persistent? Okay. So there's a small video for you. Siddharth, आप mute में हो शायद. If you can unmute yourself, maybe you can hear the video. You're not able to hear it.
Yeah, 1 second, Brijesh.
Yeah, try now.
Yeah, I will.
Hello, I'm Shreyas Kalra, an intern with Persistent. I chose Persistent for my internship because of the work culture, highly cooperative team, flexibility, about which I learned from my senior in college. And I bet he was right about everything. My journey with Persistent until now has been nothing less than amazing. I was allotted the Java full stack track. The trainings so far have been very good. The courses are customized and help in better understanding and quick learning of the core concept.
Hi, my name is Shraddha Mishra. I'm very excited to soon be joining Persistent as a full-time employee. Currently, I'm enrolled in a Career Compass program, and I'm delighted to be a part of it. Persistent's Career Compass program is playing a vital role to bridge the gap between campus to career. It is helping me a lot to learn new technologies and revising what we have already learned. In this program, each module is designed by keeping the fresher's competency in mind. The manner in which the content is provided is amazing. The flow of each module is systematic and the content provided is to the point and understandable. Doubt sessions are also hosted to help us to clear the concepts further. We also have a lot of fun quizzes where I secured third position in Know Your Company. It was very exciting and I got to know more about Persistent. My journey with Persistent has just begun and I'm looking forward to a long and successful career ahead.
Yeah, Brijesh, well
So
done.
these are some of our facilities. तो ये जो आपको फोटो में दिख रहा है, so this is our facility in Pune, Hinjawadi. And these are some other facilities that we have. And this is the auditorium in Nagpur Center, where I, Sanket and Kalpana are based out of. Okay. And तो ये सब ना बहुत ज्ञान है, ठीक है, बट आई विल स्टिल गो थ्रू इट. हाँ, और जल्दी से कर लूंगा, तुम लोग बोर मत होना ज्यादा. क्वेश्चन रहेंगे तो पूछ लेना, ठीक है. तो we are committed to enabling a values driven and people centric work organization. नहीं कर पा रहा हूँ यार. हाँ, तो बेसिकली जनरली हम लोग ये कह रहे हैं कि मतलब people centric मतलब while you work we also take care of our well-being of our people. Okay, तो वो कैसे करते हैं हम लोग? So accelerate your growth both professionally and personally. Okay, so professionally तो very clear. Okay, you learn new technologies and this and that and everything else. Personally जब हम लोग बोलते हैं, so we at Persistent we also have a lot of programs, developmental programs, okay, for your personality, for kind of public speaking, so a lot of soft skills. So L&D, there is a team of professionals, which is called the L&D team within Persistent. So they are the ones which keep conducting a lot of these soft skills trainings and other things, wherein you can attend those trainings, be a part of them, and also grow yourself, not just professionally, but also personally. Again, like I said, impacting the world in the most powerful and positive ways. How do we do that? By adopting and embracing the latest of technologies. जो भी टेक्नोलॉजीज आती है वर्ल्ड में, awesome टेक्नोलॉजीज आती है, Persistent is one of the first companies to jump into that, okay, and be a part of it. Where enjoy collaborative innovation, diversity, work lives. So diversity, of course, some of you all have mentioned diversity as one of the things that you'll look for. Okay, the percentage was small, but yes, we as a company definitely value diversity a lot. Okay, work life balance is something आजकल तो सबके जुबान पे है, and we also make sure that we not just prophesize this but also put it into practice. Okay, again, unlocking a lot of global opportunities to work and learn from the best in the industry. तो कैसा होता है ना, and I'll be very honest with you, okay? So as freshers, I'm sure you're, because we have presence, मैंने आपको एक चार्ट बताया था, we have presence right from the west coast of the world, जैसे California वगैरह से, सीधा all the way up to Australia. So we have a presence throughout the spectrum of the world, right? And we do have opportunities for people who want to, move to other countries and work from other countries. However, that needs, for that one needs to have patience. क्योंकि as a fresher or with very